to throw more light on environmental issues in Nigeria, those that have remained unresolved, the efforts the government has made so far since the celebration of World Environment Day, and of course, what needs to be done going forward. We do have our guest, Engr Simeon Odo, who happens to be the Executive Director of Age Green Initiative. We'll be delving into the issues surrounding this matter in just a moment.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. It's been like 5 decades of the celebration of World Environment Day, and Nigeria has, of course, been joining in this celebration. So, from your perspective, what do you think are some of the unresolved environmental challenges that exist in Nigeria despite 6 years of celebration? And why do you think they persist despite all the advocacies that young people like you and others are making?
All right, so thank you so much. First of all, before we talk about the challenges, I think it's also been good to look at areas where Nigeria have done relatively fine after joining the world in celebrating the World Environmental Day. So first of all, it's good to also put in record that within this period of 5 decades, Nigeria as a nation have been able to achieve creation of NESRA, environmental agency, other environmental agencies, and then we also look at that we have also achieved adaptation of climate change and also environmental protection policies, which we've done very well. Not only that, we also look at the increased investments, particularly on the area of renewable energy, afforestation and ecosystem restoration projects. We've done a couple of them. And then we also look at a couple of creation of public awareness on climate change, waste management, and also on environmental sustainability. So these are some of the areas Nigerians have done. So looking at the challenges and where we also need to improve, or where we need to, areas we have not properly done very well. We're having poor enforcement. And then in most of our program, we've actually called on government agencies and parastatal to look at how we have a couple of policies that we've enacted, and then but we realize that enforcement is a major area. We also look at the area of continued oil pollution, particularly in the area of some part of Nigeria like Niger Delta. So that is also area we need to look at as a nation. There's also an illegal dumping of waste and an inadequate recycling system, which is we're also conversing for infrastructure on the area of waste treatment. So there are a couple of areas. You talk about deforestation, you talk about desertification and flooding in many aspects of the country. So these and other places, and particularly, lastly, collaboration is also one of the areas we think that the government needs to also improve on as a nation.
When you say collaboration, what exactly are you talking about? Because I saw in your press release, even during the World Environment Celebration, this 2026, you're talking about collaboration, how people should come together, put hands together in ensuring that some of these challenges are overcome.
Yes, when we talk about collaboration, we know we have a lot of non-governmental agencies who are focused on climate change, environmental advocacy like us. We also have a couple of government agencies who have Ministry of Environment, we have Senate Committee on Environment. So we have a couple of even development partners. So what we are seeking is an opportunity or a platform where most of these government agencies, development partners, government institutions, private sectors, NGOs like us, and even the members of the community should come together, okay, to join force in fighting these environmental challenges. And that's one of the things we are trying to do this year by this month, 27th of June. And so we are seeking to bring such agencies and bodies together to come together so that we can fight this particular challenge.
Now, talk about this and what you're planning for 27th of June 2026. We talked about collaboration to clean up certain areas in the FCT. How are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And what impact do you intend to achieve?
Yeah, so first of all, we need to understand that this challenge is a reality, okay? And this challenge is a big problem that affects everybody. And so what we are trying to achieve is basically to create an awareness. Now, we're also seeking to clean some part of FCT. And that's the reason why we are calling to every resident of FCT to actually come together. And we are calling development partner, we are calling other, even media houses like you, which you've done very well in aspect of environment. And we are calling government agencies who come together, even our politicians, religious leaders, different community leaders, to come together. And practically we are going to be on the streets, we are going to be on the market, we are going to be on a lot of places. We'll see how dirty Nyanya is, not only Nyanya, but at least we'll start it from Nyanya, and we're hoping to do that across other FCT and extend it to other different states. We've done that in few states already. And so we want to be on the ground, because it's good to speak, it's good to talk, create awareness, but for us it's also good to go on the street and practically move this waste out of the streets to the dumping site, where we can actually talk about how to treat them.
Okay, well, you'll do that once, and then people still keep dumping refuse or wherever they find indiscriminately. Do you think that is going to change, and how do you get people to change that attitude?
Okay, part of what we are doing as an organization is that we've created a membership across 74 local governments. And then what we tend to do is we continue ongoing awareness creation. We do that in church, we do that in school, we do that on social media, and then we once in a while come on the street, and then we believe it's an ongoing fight. Okay, and then as long as we keep, last year we did a major awareness creation, which you witnessed, we participated on, and which also helped the government to look at the area of banning single plastic use. And so we believe that gradually we are making impact. Okay, it's not going to happen in a day, but the continuous effort, consistent efforts will one day give us the result we are looking for.
All right. Climate change is increasingly visible. Like you have also explained that today everyone talks about climate change in food, climate change in agriculture, climate change in health, and all of that. And it's becoming increasingly visible through flooding, coastal erosion, desertification, and extreme weather events. How vulnerable is Nigeria today to climate change, and what are the consequences if urgent action is not taken?
The consequences, it can't overemphasize it. We have already witnessed it. I mean, you look at the even the change of weather. You look at the effect of it affects our body. You look at it affects food insecurity. Its effect is massive. You can witness it almost all over. You talk about the flooding. In a few months now, you start witnessing a couple of flooding across different parts of the country. And so there is something that we feel every day. It's a reality we've come to face. It has affected different sectors of the economy. It has affected us every day. So we think that this is something Nigeria, first of all, should understand. How did this affect us? What are the ripple effects? And everybody should come to this full understanding and see how each of us can key into fighting this climate change, because it has become a global issue.
Okay, finally, before we let you go, many communities are already living with the impacts of all of these climate-related issues. We're talking about pollution, flooding, land degradation. What message do you have for them today? That's ordinary Nigerians and also the government, particularly ordinary Nigerians who feel this impact and they feel they are even paying for a challenge that did not, create.
Okay, the simple message is for them to join in the movement, join in the fight. Government has done a lot well, created a couple of policies, come up with different platforms, creation of different agencies. But then we think that implementation, like I've said earlier, is a major challenge. So we think that it's a time the citizen rise, okay, on occasion to join an institution like ours, okay, to fight against this climate change. So that is the message we have for citizens. And it's also good that everybody should take responsibility of your community, your area where you sit, because this is how we can curtail this climate challenge and environmental issues. Okay, so on 27th of June, okay, we are pulling together about 500 volunteers, civil organization, government institution, development agencies, corporate bodies, religious leaders, community leaders to come together at Nyanya. We are having massive environmental cleanup exercise. And so we are calling for partnership, we are calling for support, we are calling for collaboration across different parts of FCT to be part of this great massive campaign program. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for your time with us. Of course, our guest has been Engr Simeon Odo, the Executive Director of Age Green Initiative, an environmental campaign organization and advocacy. Thank you so much for your time and you have a great day.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.